My guest is Yann Auzoux, who is a professional tennis player by trade. That's what he chooses to do. But the thing that caught my eye and my ear when we talked about the new technology that allows him to teach tennis from Washington, D.C. to a student in Paris, which is, by the way, where he's from or that area. You're close to Paris, aren't you?
I am.
Okay.
Correct.
He today, using the technology, folks, can teach tennis as if he were on the court there. See a student, talk to him, talk back and forth. That's what the new technology allows to happen. And I think it's fascinating when you think about that, because then you say, well, the possibilities are enormous in terms of what can happen. Does his generation understand it? I don't. I mean, I don't know how to use all of this stuff. But apparently you even admit that you can't do all the things that the technology allows you to do.
Certainly. I mean, it's a learning curve. These devices come out with all types of features, and we basically use maybe 5 to 10% of it, if you're having a good day. But most of us, we just call and we tap on apps, but you don't really know that your phone has what's called geofencing that allows you to basically access anything that's in your neighborhood. Your phone knows your GPS location. Your phone, can access the microphone, can access the video, can access the camera, can do all these different things that most people don't even know.
Don't even begin to know how to make it do that. Just have no idea. And yet, you just had a new baby, which reminds me, and I know you tell the story of your daughter. Is a few years ago, my son was born, Tally, who you know, and Tally was, we had an agreement, Amy, my wife and I, that the kids would not touch any of our electronics. And nobody understands any better Al Peters, because that's what he does. He knows, the sensitivity of it. And so I had said to him, the children are not to play with any of our devices in the house. Just I've got the videos and the tape, and I got all this stuff lined up, and I paid a Kyocera system that was supposed to be the best, and so I came home from the office, and I walked in. Tally, my oldest at 5 years old, was in my office, and he was at the television, and he was or whatever else was there, and I hit the ceiling. So I at the point I controlled myself. And I walked into the kitchen. I said, Amy, she says, yeah, honey. I said, why are you doing? She's doing what? I said, Tally is in there playing with the equipment. And she looked at me and she said, honey, he's not playing with it. He's programming it. And I looked. I said, what? And I walked back in there, and he's programming this stuff. It's almost second nature to these kids. They have a sense that I would never have. I mean, I'm fighting to get there. He's programming the equipment. He gets it. He understands it. And I think that's what's going to happen with your children as well.
Absolutely. I mean, my daughter, who's now 3.5, started to use our iPad when she was 1.5 years, and she already knew how to swipe videos, from the screen and switch between, the various content that she wanted to watch. And, just the other day, I had a really cute interaction with her. She has this imaginary friend that she talks to, and she has a fake phone. And, at one point she just said to her imaginary friend, give me a second, I'm going to WhatsApp you, which was incredible. She's 3.5, and she knows the difference between a phone call and a WhatsApp call, so.
And you just look at them and and they do. They really do know.
Baffling.
Talk to me about your colleagues. I mean, do you guys have this kind of conversation when you're sitting down, or in your case, in your business, do you sit down and say, okay, here's what we think's going to come up? I mean, how do you program yourself to be ready for the next next event, the next technology that's available to you?
Well, it's always the common thread and the common trend is always doing things faster and better. So when you're in the industry, it's pretty easy to gauge where it's heading. Okay, when you're not, obviously, you see these devices, they come as like single units. But the trend is very clear. Now it's all about empowering as many people as you can, just giving them instant access to things in real time. Mm-hmm. That's where it's heading. People just don't want to wait. The consumer just wants to be served as we speak. Every piece of technology that's going to come out right now is going to have that embedded.
So who wins the game here, Yann? What I mean by that is you're in business. You're a teacher. You teach, and there are other teachers around. How do you make sure that you are the winner? Because if you don't understand the technology as well as your compatriot, your competition, then do they win the game?
What's going to happen, unfortunately, is we are in the middle of a paradigm shift as we speak. You have the old way is fighting with the new way, and you can't fight technology just like you couldn't fight the train when it came along, railroad. And, there's always a paradigm shift, and we're in the middle of one right now. That's why you have so much chaos in the world. And I think ultimately the people who win are the people that will embrace the technology as the newest tool to, for our world. And it's no different than anything else.
Is it a generational battle? I mean, am I battling your generation? Are you all battling within your generation? Do you understand? I mean, what's the divide here?
I think the divide is you have people that embrace technology and people who don't. There are people in your generation that have embraced technology just as well, and they're just as savvy as I am. And then you have people that will fight it, tooth and nail. And those will lose their jobs and, will very quickly see that they're being left behind, because there's an educational part of it where if you don't learn quickly right now, a year from now, you're going to be a dinosaur.
Interesting. So you have to know what you don't know and program for that, or at least plan for that.
Or surround yourself with people that do know.
That do know.
It's not always having to learn it yourself.
I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to get across here. Yann Auzoux is a professional, but he is impacted by the professionalism of the equipment. We'll be right back.